Welcome back. Well, there's no question that Western New York pride runs pretty deep around here, but do you know as much about Buffalo as you think you do? Most Buffalonians can dial up major details about our major milestones like the Pan American Exposition or the Blizzard of '77. But how much do you know about the Buffalo Bullfights or the Percy Sea Serpent? A new book highlights these weird, wild, and wacky tales every Western New Yorker should know. And right now we're joined by the co-authors, Brian Meyer and Mark Chimchek. Welcome to the set, gentlemen. How are you?
Appreciate it.
And this is a great thing to talk about on Halloween week because it's kind of about all of our strange, bizarre histories. We celebrate the weirdness of the world, right?
We do, absolutely, yes. We started working on this book many years ago. I'm a hoarder. Not the kind you see on the serial, you know, the TV reality shows.
News and story
but
hoarder.
I hoard trivia and I hoard little facts, and if I hear things at parties, and I've just been throwing all these things in an archive box for years and years and years, and said, okay, one of these years we're going to do a book, and that's when Mark and I started talking.
Yes, Brian felt this book needed a little bit of a lighter touch, and he needed a smartass. That's when he thought of me. So he gave me a call, we got together, and we spent the past couple of years going through all this research that Brian's compiled. I've done some research on my own, and here we are with the finished product.
And tried to make it real diversified, too. Everything from politics to weather to broadcasters to weird and wacky tales.
To things that don't even exist in real life. We'll get to some of the anecdotes covered in the book in just a second. But as a whole, do you think that Buffalonians love to say Buffalo is the most blank in any category? Do you think that we're one of the weirder cities? Do you think that we have a stranger history than most?
You know, I wondered about that because one of the things that surprised me was how many bizarre things we were able to include. I mean, there are about 300 in the book, but no exaggeration. We looked through about 1,200, and that was only after I threw out maybe 1,000.
Wow.
So, I mean, 20-some hundred of these things, and I have to wonder if maybe we have the edge on bizarre.
Well, I think that we should just say that we do. So let's explain some of the things that you have in the book. I love the first one, The Legend of the Percy Sea Serpent. What is this all about?
This is about in the 19th century, a hotel owner was looking to boost up some business for himself, and he made up a sea serpent in Silver Lake. He built some a coil and wrapped some canvas around it, waterproof canvas, pushed it out in the lake, and some fishermen saw it. They're like, oh my God, that's clearly some Loch Ness Monster type thing. And they told everybody, and just drew some tourism. And
the legend lives on today. I had
right.
friends that used to take me to Silver Lake to their cottage, and they used to tell me that there was a sea serpent in the lake when I was little.
We're just hoping none of these new downtown hotel developers have any ideas for Canal Side. That's all. That's all.
All right, the next one we're talking about, bullfights happening less than 2 miles from our studio here on Elmwood Avenue.
That's over at the Pan American Exposition grounds, right over in the Elmwood, Nottingham, Fordham area. And a lot of people don't realize there were some very interesting things that happened to the Pan Am.
Oh, yeah.
Not the least of which were actual, authentic bullfights in the Mexico exhibit.
And I have to say, if they happened nowadays, I bet you we'd get some fans here in Buffalo.
Well,
we like our sports, right?
You'd also have some activists out there, I'll tell you that, yes.
we'd probably also have a lot of people complaining that the Bulls always lose, you know. And,
hey, not the UB. Maybe, is that where the UB Bulls name comes from? Maybe.
That's a good
they
point.
won another game. I think it's the 6th straight over the weekend, so good for them. All right, last one we're going to talk about is, I called it the bucket list.
Yes, now think about this. Some of us have complained about the no texting laws and the no cell phone laws and the seatbelt laws. Way back, shortly after Buffalo was burned to the ground by the British, there was a leather bucket law. All homeowners in Buffalo had to have a bucket just in case homes caught fire, and that was a requirement.
And it had to be a leather bucket.
A leather bucket.
So if you want to live like you were living in the olden days of Buffalo, go out, get yourself a leather bucket. Maybe that can be a Halloween costume. How about that?
There you go.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing more about your book called Buffalo Bizarre. Where can people find it?
Just about all the bookstores or on buffalobooks.com, and we look forward to getting lots of reaction. Who knows, maybe there are so many bizarre things out there, there'll be a book too.
Maybe there'll be a second one. Maybe we can
right.
all contribute to the next one. All right, thanks so much. It's so fun to talk about our bizarre history.